Wow, China's Kids Cup, one of the semi-final games. Like Austin Okonapan will tell you, we're in the business of catching them young. I'd like to welcome you to Channel Sports on Sunday on Channels TV. My name is Eitayo Balogun Jr. and I'm indeed very excited to be with you today. It was a very busy weekend. The Champions League final took place yesterday. We saw a couple of games, international friendlies as well, and also we saw the World Cup, the Female World Cup, start yesterday. Now, the next 20 minutes, I'm not going to be alone. I have Badakin today, as well as Nodi Okonta. We just came in from Warri this morning. He took the first flight, and luckily, he could meet us in time for the program, and we are glad that he could join us today. I'd like to welcome you, Bada.
Feels fantastic to be here. Like you said, the most important football game for the season took place yesterday, the UEFA Champions League finals, and Barcelona were crowned champions.
You're not disappointed, though?
No, they're worthy winners. I got the scoreline actually spot on because I predicted a 3-1 win for Barcelona. So it feels great, especially because there are two competitions on national scale that are ongoing, on the 20 FIFA World Cup, and then the Female World Cup, Women's World Cup have started as well, and the Copa America starts on the 11th of June as well. So as much as the football season is over, the football club season is over. There's still football, and that gladdens the heart.
Yeah, month of June is a beautiful month, I must say, not only for football, but it's going to be a very beautiful month, I must confess. But it's good to see you. I mean, first flight from Delta State, and you could make it in time for the program. So we're glad. You went to see the game, Warri Wolves versus AC Leopards. Unfortunate for Warri Wolves. I mean, getting to score 3 goals and eventually not going past the AC Leopards that actually had defeated them 3-0 in the first leg. You saw the game. At some point, I will talk to them about it. But good to see you. You were impressed with what you saw yesterday.
Which of the games?
Talking about the Warri Wolves AC Leopards game.
Because I was a Champions League game yesterday. Well, all 4 goals were scored by Warri Wolves.
Oh.
Only that one went the wrong way.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll see.
It would have been 4-0 in favor of Warri Wolves, but Warri Wolves scored all 4, but one went the wrong way.
Leopard to score the goal and knock them out.
Can you imagine? They knocked themselves out. We'll get to talk about it in the course of the program. We're going to start with the Nigerian National League. The Nigerian National League saw some games yesterday. Quickly, we're going to brief through the results. We saw Aqua Starlets play 1-0 over First Bank. Bendel Insurance defeated J Atete by a lone goal. Atiba United played 1-0 over Gateway United, and Ekiti United had defeated Crown FC 2-1. Now, we'll talk about the Confederations Cup. That's the CAF Confederations Cup that actually took place yesterday. We saw Warri Wolves play AC Leopards. Remember, before then, AC Leopards had defeated Warri Wolves 3-0, and we expected Warri Wolves to come back and score as many goals, as many as 4 actually, to be able to go past AC Leopards into the next round. Unfortunately, yes, it ended 3-1 in favor of Warri Wolves. That means they won the game on the day, but they couldn't qualify because of the goals aggregate. And like you've given us a twist to it, they actually did score 4 goals.
They scored 4 goals, but one went the other way. It's a battle of two. It's a war of 2 battles. One we won the battle, Warri, but lost the war entirely. 4-3 on aggregate, and I expected them. I don't expect a miracle, but I almost saw miracle. But then it didn't turn out to be the way I expected it to be. The Congolese knew that they had to kill off the game in the first leg, because what the Congolese do in that last 3 visits to Nigeria is just to get an away goal. Against Atlant, they got an away goal. Against Pillars, they got an away goal. Against Warri Wolves, they still got an away goal. So what they do is that they try to kill off the game in Dolise. And the way they came, I think this is a lesson. A lot of lessons to be learned from this game. A lot of lessons. They came all the way. They came with a private jet straight from Dolise down to Port Harcourt because they have business interest in Port Harcourt. Even the owners of the club, that's the son of a former military ruler of the state, as General Denis Sese Nguesso. They had business interest in Port Harcourt. They came straight to Port Harcourt because they couldn't land in Warri. They went from Warri to Port Harcourt because they knew that from Lagos to Port Harcourt, Warri like 5 hours by road. Then they have to come to Port Harcourt, which is just 2 hours. And they came prepared. They came prepared. This was a club that you have Lamine Ndiaye is the coach of this team. Remember Lamine Ndiaye?
The ex-international?
It's an ex-international. He won the CAF Champions League with TP Mazembe the year they won it back-to-back. So they are prepared. They know what is at stake. And you know the beauty of it is that because there's a lot of money going to the group phase. For every game you win, it's $10,000. For every goal, $1,000. So it's money spinning.
Now, but you might want to argue this, Nodi, and maybe you might want to chip into a few things by that. AC Leopards played beautiful football, like you confessed yesterday. But now what you're saying is, take it outside the field of play, they went into these games better prepared. Are you saying that we don't go prepared enough?
No, if you look at what we arrangement to this game, because for their trip to Dolise, they had to take 4 hours by road before they get to Tunisia, and the players were looking a bit fagged out.
Not like they can't afford a private to charter a flight.
Well, that's left for the management of the club to decide. But going to the game, in the first half, Warriors has the Congolese knew that Warriors need to score 4 goals, and Warriors want to what we call they want to go all out to get an early goal, but they try to become a bit. What they do is that they play 2 men forward, try to land the pass back, which they eventually needed to get what to go. So first half goalless, second half Warriors came back, but immediately they scored the first goal and everybody was shouting 3 more goals. 5 minutes later, that was an own goal from Azuke, and that was how it was 1-1. So it became a ding-dong affair. Towards the last 20 minutes of the game, Warriors scored another goal, 2-1, 3-1, but then it was a little too late. And at that point, when it was 5 minutes to the end, 5 minutes added time, I just, you know what I did? I gave up because I knew that I don't know the kind of miracle we were to do in this game. But all in all, they gave a good account of themselves. They did well. For the first time I've seen a Nigerian club side, fans of Nigerian club side, support their team from the very first minute to the last minute. Not to give credit to them. They supported it. Even when they lost, they still gave accolade to. They applauded their club because they gave a good fight.
Now, we've seen a different trend. That means we've seen progress in our league. I mean, we've seen us grow. We've seen the level of football increase. We've seen our teams and our club sides actually go ahead and give it all. But at this stage, at the Champions League stage, we don't have any representative representing Nigerian football. It says a lot about our league. Some people might want to ignore it and say, okay, look, maybe we are developing and all that. But you think it's a bitter pill. It leaves a sour taste in our mouth that we're not playing at the next stage of the Champions League.
It's something to look at very critically. It might be premature to say that not having any representative left on the continent or being knocked out completely on the continent is proof that our league, the quality of our league is declining. It may be down to administrative lapses. For instance, like Nordin said, you have a game away from home and you travel by road, some hours that leave the players completely fagged out before they step into the pitch. I mean, these are things that actually come to play in football. If you remember the 2012 UEFA Champions League game between Barcelona and Inter Milan, where Barcelona was said to have lost because they traveled, they couldn't fly because of volcanic ash. They had to travel by road. They were jet lagged. If at that level, stuff like that can actually, militate against the success of a team, how much more Africa? So I don't think that not having a representative on the continent left is proof that the quality of the league is declining. I've seen a couple of local games, and compared to years past, I think that there has been some progress, however little. So really, Warri Wolves left themselves to the mountain to climb, losing 3-0 away from home. Once that happens, it always leaves you with the possibility of doing so much, yet not doing enough. On the day they won, but considering that away goal meant that they needed to score 5 to go through.
And I was going to talk about that away goal. I'm sure it must have been heartbroken after I got that whole goal.
Well, of course, it's not just Egoke. So even some of the fans who felt after that first goal by Warriors, they see an opportunity of a dramatic comeback. And suddenly we had a shocker, and we have to keep counting the number of goals we score.
That's 4.
We have extended it from 4 to 5. And you know what that means. And at the end of the day, if you set to the Congolese again, they start going to become a bit comfortable, because when the Warriors scored 1, they weren't comfortable. They knew that these guys are on a rampage. But when that Hongo came, they became settled. They went back. They came. You settled them. So I don't know. But talking about Nigerian teams on the continent, at this level, this is a club in Congo, and look at the way they prepared for a game like this. And in contrast, the Nigerian club, and see the way they prepared. So I don't envy. Sometimes when we say let's see how these countries are doing it, let's see what they are doing. That's right. If I tell you where these guys, this player, where they stayed in Warri, where they were lodged. I don't want to mention the name of the hotel, but if a Nigerian club, where the Nigerian club ever stayed here, I know it means that the management of the club will present a very huge budget to the government. That's what it means. So if you treat your players like national team players, national team material, because we have 4 players in this Warriors team that made the final, that Keshi retained from the home base player. We have 2 in the non-team. That's 6. It means that what they get from national team first class treatment. So that means they could be able to get that for the club, from their clubs too. So See, it's not that the Congolese will not stay in a low-rated hotel in Warri, but because they knew the quality and the status of their players. And they knew the kind of result they want.
And they wanted, yeah.
And they got they got a coach that won the Champions League with TP Mazembe. Lamine Ndiaye.
Okay.
That's what it means. That's how serious a club should be.
I feel your pain, man. I know that you're saying a lot, but I'm sure a lot of people are listening. I'm sure I'm eventually going to get it right with our different
Tayo, reading in between the lines, really. It's not about not knowing what is right, but lacking the financial muscle to do it. Like he said, the other club hired, Leopards hired a coach that had, won on the continent.
Yeah.
And of course, they came on an away trip and afforded their team the very best. Like he said, the owners of the club are financially buoyant.
But Kano Pillars
interest in Nigeria.
But Kano Pillars also had the coach that has won on the continent.
Leopards.
What's the difference? We've seen them charter flights at some point in time.
Tayo, if we want to mention the salaries of some of these players.
Okay, let's not go into that right
because
now.
I related with some of the players, even the one that's the key captain of the side, who is a key member of this team, who even Warri is scared of. Because they said their number 7 is their only problem. So,
well, Warri Wolves are a buoyant side too.
Yeah, buoyant side, yes, but
compared
if you go deeper,
Leopards.
if you meet Warri Wolves player one-on-one,
okay.
he will tell you that.
That's why I always like having Nadia around. It's always has a way of bringing out these issues. But again, I'm going to keep tabs. Thank you so much. Thank God for genuine messages from Warri. And I'm sure these guys would have put that past themselves and actually focus on the MPFL.
This Wednesday against Academy. Well, the question is, will that game be played? Because under the new rule, if you have 5 players on national assignment, you do have to play that league. And we will have 6 on national assignment. Because after this game, the players are traveling today. The 4 players in the Super Eagles
are going back to camp.
The 2 going to the under 23 are going. So they mean 6 players, key member, not just bench warmer.
Like balance.
I don't know what that game against Academy. Academy are moving to Warri for this game. I don't know what the LMC will do.
So they need to decide first by tomorrow. That's 24 hours, at least 48 hours before the main game. Thank you so much, Nadia Okonta. Now we need to move on quickly and talk about the under-20 tournament that's taken place. Now before we do that, I'd like to let you know that the World Cup, female World Cup, is ongoing in Canada, and it has started. We had Canada defeat China by a lone goal. We saw New Zealand lose by a lone goal also to the Netherlands. Now Group D, where the Super Falcons actually belong, will play on the 8th that's on Monday. That's tomorrow. We'll play 9 p.m. tomorrow against Sweden. We belong in Group D alongside us. We play with Sweden, USA, and Australia. Fixtures on your screen. Nigeria will play the first game by 9 p.m. and 9th, so to speak, will be USA taking on Australia. That should be by 12:30 p.m. Having said all that, quickly let's talk about these are the results of the games in Group A of the Women World Cup that started yesterday.